fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Hello, I'm Iki,
I'm Sai.
and we are brothers Ali. And if we sound weird, it's because of a place that we went to yesterday night.
Yeah.
Oh God! So without further ado, you know what's coming. You know what it is. Yup, the coming of the Marvel Jesus. You know. Here we're gonna talk about Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
All right. So we went to a fan event or something.
Yes, yeah.
So we like to thank these parties for this screening. So it's primarily organized by Fignificent in conjunction with Geeks Frequency and MCU Network. So thank you guys. Because of you guys, we had a very crazy crowd watching
Yeah.
this latest in the MCU, which is also Deadpool's official entry into the MCU.
It's
Yes.
simple. It's simple, but it's a very fun event.
Yeah, it's very simple. It has like prizes and everything, but we didn't get any. But
I
it's
mean,
fine.
it is like we very much love the opportunity because we get to hang out with
Like-minded people.
other good people, and on the day and date for people who are not getting the Disney privilege.
Yeah.
So we don't. So when we scroll or YouTube comments or whatever, we have an ease of mind because we won't see spoilers because you can't be spoiled when you've already seen the movie. With that said, this review is a non-spoiler one.
Yeah.
And exactly after this, just for your information, we are also recording the full spoiler review. So be getting ready of that.
Yes.
And dude, this one, we've been waiting for ages. Weirdly enough for me, I haven't been waiting actively because of how Echo left me.
Echo left us battered and bruised.
He left me with an echo in my heart. Like there is nothing there.
It's a void.
It's a void. And all I hear is my own voice wanting the Marvel Netflix to come back. Everyone. Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, all of you, man. Not just Wilson Fisk and Daredevil. That's not enough, man. We need all of them.
Yeah,
I know Punisher's back too.
Punisher and Jessica Jones will be
Jessica
back.
Jones. Alright, okay. Luke Cage.
Luke Cage, I'm not sure yet.
And, I want everyone. Colin Wing and everyone. Turk. Bring Turk back. Justice for Turk.
Justice for Turk. Alright. So this is the latest. Like I said before, this is Deadpool's official entry to the MCU and Wolverine's entry to the MCU.
Yeah. Finally, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I hate you, Bryan Singer. You suck. Go to hell. I don't like you. Like, just let them wear the costume, man. What the hell is wrong with you?
Let them cook.
Oh my God.
Almost forgot.
Am I going to war or a circus?
What'd you expect? Black leather?
And, dude, they're right. In the movie, they say Mangold tried. He did. He did try. James Mangold tried. He cooked with Wolverine, man. And I am one of those enjoyers of the Wolverine without, like any irony. I love it. I actually love it. So without any irony, that's the Malay in me. I just say irony.
Irony. Alright, so yeah, this is quite the task to skirt around things to not get things spoiled. So how would you, or you just want to describe our experience instead? Whichever do you want to go?
Like, our crowd was awesome, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there are some parts where they scream at the littlest references, but that's kind of like an inside joke because at the end, they were like, oh, what happens in this movie? You gotta have to scream. If you don't scream, we're gonna kick you out. Whatever happens, scream. So
And scream we did.
scream with it. And a lot of people like, should we scream on this one, guys? Cause it's like the slow clap. Cause it's like you're just testing the waters. Is anyone gonna clap with you? If nobody's clapping, then you stop, right?
Yeah.
So you scream, and then if nobody's screaming, you stop. That's what happens in our neighbor. But we don't mind because these are fun little references. These are made for the fans.
Yeah, and you know the marketing term LFG or the full one, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot stop screaming that lots of times. I just like, let's fucking go, let's fucking go, let's fucking go. And now my voice
Yeah,
is like this.
the hype is like, dude,
Palpable, man.
the cameos, man, and they really know how to do it.
And
From the smallest
Yeah.
to the biggest cameos, oh my god, they do both. It's both escalating, and at the same time, some of it came out of nowhere, but in a fun kind of way,
yeah.
without too much clutter. I love it, man.
And this movie goes the route of Spider-Man No Way Home, in which the cameo matters in the plot. They're not just like, poop, here's something for you, like the Flash. Oh, I
Okay,
hate that so much.
Oh,
you want to do that? You want to do that now?
Yeah, I forgot about that. So we wanted to do a little bit spring cleaning, right? So during the Flash, I gave it the score of 6 out of 10, and he gave it a 6.5 out of 10. Okay, I want to drop mine to 4 out of 10. Right, you?
I'm just gonna give it. I'm still more generous, but still around the simple part. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 10.
My justification is that movie is shit. I really hate it. The more I think about it, the more I hate it. And then I listened to my friend the other day, gave it a 9 back then. I'm like, I hate it even more. That movie sucks. I can't stand the CGI. Ezra Pillay is a piece of shit. And like, he doesn't have to be, but the movie still sucks. You know, everything about it is wrong. Oh my god, and the writing is bad in every way. The comedic timing is off. The what do you call it thing? The overall plot have so many plot holes. The characters are boring. Everything else is bad. You know. So yeah, that's why I wanna do that. Okay, for the second movie, you want
Wait,
to?
I also want to.
Yeah, right. Sorry,
I exist, okay?
I know you exist.
So
I forgot that.
So
you know.
my justification is why I keep the 0.5 right, because of Supergirl, but yeah, my reasoning for my degradation of points is yeah, despite the promise of a multiversal storyline and trying to flesh out the Flash, they managed to do neither good job, because everything was just underutilized in every conceivable way. I mean, you have a big multiverse story, but you do nothing with it. It's just to like, oh, we have these IPs, we'll showcase them to make entertainment value, to make the crowd go woo cameo, instead of like making the cameos matter in the grander scheme of things. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you can just do that, like drop Easter eggs. Maybe that's better than just like showing an entire cameo but do nothing with them. You just like there to like fill up runtime because you have nothing else to show for. Yeah, I mean, and also like, yeah, they also do nothing with like the multiverse stakes and intertwine it with the character. That is just very distant from each other. They don't connect. So yeah, that's my reasoning for giving it a 4.5 out of 10. The 0.5 is just for Supergirl. If there's no Supergirl, I would give it 4.
Alright. The what do you call it thing? The second movie they want to spring clean, would have to be the Marvels, which after so many debates and so many like discussions over the while, and I really think about the movie, I still very much enjoy it. And when I did say in the review, and I wish you would revisit that, I did mean it. Marvel could possibly be back. And I know all the dumb stuff, the woke stuff and all that, and I totally agree. It's very woke and very stupid.
And in the cutting room floor, I was going very PC with it. So
But doesn't change the fact that I very much still enjoy the movie. I see a glimpse of the old Marvel a bit, as opposed to Quantumania. I think the Marvels did a better job. And if my reasonings for liking it didn't change, is exactly intact as in the review, and I gave it a 7.2 on that one. So I'm changing mine now to a 6.2 out of 10.
yeah.
The reasonings are all intact, so there's no point of me justifying the new score. It's more like I think the numerical rating doesn't
Yeah.
translate well to the actual review. That's it.
Yeah, I think mine is similar to him, and it's just gonna be a 6.5 for me out of 10 because my original was 7.5 out of 10. And yeah, the same as him, my views doesn't change, but the original score was just not the right score for the kind of movie that it is after we like, reflect to it over the course of months, right? So, all right, now back.
Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
yeah.
Oh my god. Oh,
Yeah, our throat is killing us right now,
Yeah.
especially him, apparently.
that just choke on the water just now. Oh my god. And drinking it doesn't make it better, so I take a lozenge. Oh my god.
All right,
Get
so
back to it.
back to Deadpool and Wolverine, right? So, yeah, despite that, in Deadpool, you are already seen the first and the second one. So, Deadpool is crass and violent and
Yeah.
all of that. And, keeping in tradition of still breaking the fourth wall. All of that is you can expect that from Deadpool. He does it well, even more so in this, because this is like and especially a special one to people who hate and love the Fox X-Men movies and even the prior Marvel movies before MCU.
Yeah. And speaking of crassness, in case you're wondering, right, for one, yes, Deadpool cuss a lot. And it applies also to Wolverine.
Yes,
Will
yes.
also cuss. And I know you kind of see it in the trailers already, how Wolverine also cuss. And also if you're wondering, right, the violence is still to the max. I think it's the most violent.
Because this is like a mission statement from Kevin Feige to all those doubters. Because they will say, oh no, now the Fox Marvel movies is part of Disney. They're gonna Disneyfy Deadpool too. Nope.
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 I think
They embraced it
obviously
instead.
this is again Ryan Reynolds fighting for it.
Yeah.
Probably even Hugh Jackman fighting for it.
Yeah.
And I love that they don't pull any punches in that regards. With that said, also the comedy, man, it is on fleek.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
God, it's so good. So many references and so much fun. It's like what do you get the thing? The more that you think outsiders would hate this, the more fun the jokes are. Because like I remember like this one time when I was like during my intern and Deadpool 2 just came out, and the person shit talk Deadpool, and then she talks about like the movie San Andreas, was it the one that stars The Rock on the building, and then she keeps talking about his ass and everything.
Psy actually means the movie Skyscraper, which is around the same time Deadpool 2 was released. But yeah, I guess I know why he's confused. I mean, Dwayne Johnson movies look and sound the same, so yeah.
Like guess what, bitch? Deadpool, he has more ass.
Yeah.
You know,
He's an asshole, he has ass.
he I'ma say this right now. Like Deadpool, since the beginning, even the first movie, it is never marketed towards people who don't like the fourth wall breaking and everything. And fourth wall breaking can be very annoying.
Yeah.
But it can be done very well, like Malcolm in the Middle in the early seasons. But they dropped that after that because maybe they realize that if you make it fourth wall breaking all the time, it's gonna get stale.
And for example, this is a very egregious example. She-Hulk. They don't really know how to handle fourth wall breaks. They do it as a cop-out most of the time.
Yeah.
Especially during the third act in the final episode. They were like, hey, they tease this whole like all-out mayhem. But then they just stop that. There has the elongated fourth wall breaking scene. And they just skip over it. Like,
Yeah, to me it's a weird case because if I remember correctly, the fourth wall breaking in She-Hulk in particular is very tame, right?
Yeah.
But then towards the end, they like overcompensate for all the times that they didn't do enough for fourth wall breaking. This time they do it in an overwhelming amount that it offsets everything and more. It makes it like now they show, despite having like not that much fourth wall breaking for a character that's supposed to be a fourth wall breaking as a staple, right? A character She-Hulk, to very very overloaded by just by the last episode of setting the whole thing. That's why I say it's weird. But Deadpool is really fun in this way, and don't worry, it doesn't apply to Wolverine. It only applies to Deadpool.
yeah.
And Deadpool. And I love it because it is never lying to you about the concept.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the point, like if you see, Wendy's for example, they are advertising burger, right? You're not gonna go to Wendy's and order pizza. Are you stupid, man? You're supposed to go there to order burgers or anything else that they have that is burger adjacent.
Yes.
Like things that are going to complement a burger.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be a pizza, but because they are both heavy meals in a way, right?
Yeah.
So that's why you wanna get a pizza, go to pizzeria. Like why are you doing here in a bigger joint? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people seeing that, like here's two sides of it, right? One, people saying this is dumb, right? Why is this? Why do people find it enjoyable, right? As a movie on its own. And the second is, wow, this is fun. I've been waiting for this my whole lifetime. It is pretty simple to understand here, right? For the second set, they don't have to necessarily be like a comic book fan. They don't have to follow the entirety of Marvel comics or anything like that. But they can enjoy or celebrate the fact that these comic wacky stuff and everything finally get represented. So you are able to enjoy it as an adaptation, right? And then on the other side, I kind of get it, right? It's the as a movie, does it stand on its own? Is it because a film usually is an art form. I say usually because there are trashy cash grabs out there. I don't want to talk about them right now, but the thing is, just like Fantastic Beasts, you can kind of tell what it is, right? In the first movie, they already talk about how we are going to make a movie like about these animals, right? Yes. And people try to capture the animals, and then the reviews that comes out even on day one, you see that it doesn't focus on that. So you can kind of already tell that this is not what it's gonna be all about. They just use that as a bait. Bait and switch, right? We're gonna say it's a zoology movie, and then suddenly it's something else that does have to do with zoology, and the main character doesn't even matter, right? As opposed to Deadpool, when you see the day one, I'm gonna say, it's about fourth wall breaking, it's about very violent action and jokes, and I can see it that you buy a ticket for Fantastic Beasts for the first time, or buy ticket for Deadpool in 2016 for the first time, and then you say, wow, this is not for me. I thought I give it a try, and this is not for me, right? So when Fantastic Beasts 2 comes out, and then Deadpool 2 comes out, why the hell are you buying another ticket? Are you stupid? Are you brain dead? It's not made for you.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it's not made for you, so you don't have the right to watch it, so you can't buy a ticket. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you can buy the ticket, you can physically get your butt on the seat, you can physically watch it, but don't expect that you would enjoy it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The concept is really clear. Like Fantastic Beasts straight up tells you that this is a lie. It's not a zoology. There's nothing to do with Harry Potter. This is bullshit. When it comes to Deadpool, yeah, it's gonna be like a bunch of like stupid, dumb jokes, references, and then people like fourth wall breaking, and then violent action and vulgar jokes. That's what they marketed it as. So if you're not about that, why are you on the third movie, man?
You're still here. It's over. Go home.
Back to what we're saying, right? When it comes to even the jokes, people like to talk about like millennial jokes. We like to talk about Marvel jokes, and so okay, where does the movie land? Okay, let me say it this right now. So there's no millennial humor in here. Throw that out of the window, but it has Marvel humor. here.
Actually, it does because the soundtracks and the theme is catering towards millennial entertainment because the X-Men movies everything came from the millennial era.
I mean, you're talking about the jokes,
The
you're
jokes
talking
and the
about
references
music.
and the overall feel of it is to very 2000s.
Okay, alright.
But done in this sensibility of this modern era of Gen Z.
Even
like that.
so, I would say this, right? The way they deliver it is very um like rapid.
Yes.
There's jokes left and right, right?
We can't stop laughing.
But they actually listen to criticism this time. There are a lot more slower moments.
That builds
Yeah,
up
people
characters.
sitting on the campfire, driving in a car, walking a bit, everything like that. And there are smaller moments where nobody makes any jokes, and it slows down and focus on the characters. And speak of like focus, they really do focus on both.
Yeah.
There's no Deadpool scene about the struggle and motivations and everything that has to do with Deadpool that is hijacked by Wolverine, vice versa.
Yeah.
Both of them, when they have the emotional scenes, very focused on that character in particular at that particular moment.
Yeah.
You won't get like a
Sad scene dekat by jokes all the time.
no, not just that. I'm
Okay.
talking about like in Book of Boba Fett, for example, Mandalorian hijacked the show.
Yes.
So there's no hijacking going on.
Yeah.
When it's Wolverine time, it's Wolverine time. When it's Deadpool time, it's Deadpool time.
Yeah.
And these smaller moments, there's a lot of heart to it. I love it so much. I mean, okay, you have to understand they need to juggle a bunch of stuff, right? So one, you can't have too many characters. So to make way for all the cameos and all the new characters for the arc made specifically for this movie to stand on its own, you need to have some of the characters that you already known in the entire franchise to take a back seat.
Yeah.
That's one. And then two, in order to make it a Deadpool scene, there's not gonna be a Wolverine in that Deadpool scene. In order to make a Wolverine scene, there's gonna be a Deadpool in the Wolverine scene. And three, you have to have your jokes because that is the staple of this franchise, right?
Yeah.
And with that comes the references to all the other stuff that is surrounding the world. And because it's fourth wall breaking, you need to make references of things that are like, Disney, Fox, the Marvel comics, all the other stuff, right?
Yeah.
You need to make that. So you cater to those fans. And then finally, you must have also like all of this arranged in a way that it follows a certain plot beat and they go to a final destination in the smooth manner while keeping the pacing that people can keep up with, but at the same time people won't be bored along the way. You know?
Yeah, and yeah, speaking of which, I don't know how far are you into, I don't know, the homework or whatever, regarding Deadpool and Wolverine and their world and their surrounding lore and universe. But if you wanna watch it without that lens, you can deny the palpable chemistry between Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes.
This works as a like a buddy movie as well. And the weird thing is, this movie, this called Deadpool and Wolverine, right? But it has more Deadpool versus Wolverine more than any other movie that has the title versus in it.
Oh yeah. You're gonna get a lot of that.
Yes.
You're gonna get a lot of Deadpool fighting Wolverine. Like really, it's very gruesome, and it's very cool. And oh my god, the choreography is awesome. Like there's one in a car. You know?
Yeah.
see part of it in the trailer, right?
Yeah.
There's one like in a desert scene or whatever. It's really cool. And yeah, I gotta say the first motivation for the first fight is kind of tacked on.
Yeah.
But in the car one is kind of called for actually. But yeah, the reason why it's justifiable because these two are immortals.
Yeah.
They cannot communicate as we normal people do. You know, you compare that to BVS. Even when you watch the better version of it in The Dark Knight Rises, right? There is again a Batman versus Superman. The thing about that, I'm not gonna say this is a problem. I'm just gonna say this is a different dynamic. I'm gonna explain this dynamic first. Is that Superman, is like all powerful, right? Little to no weaknesses. You know, that's like the obvious weakness. I don't want to go there right now, right? But for the most part, it's all powerful, right?
Yeah.
And then Batman is just a normal human that is extremely intelligent
And resourceful.
and like are ready for everything, especially when he is the one that provokes the fight. The fight happens because Batman causes it. Therefore, he is ready and willing to do the damage of Superman.
Yeah.
Again, I'm talking about the good one. I'm talking about the animated Dark Knight Rises. I'm not talking about that stupid BVS Dawn of Justice shit movie. I'm not talking about that. I don't like Zack Snyder. Guys sucks. But anyways, like the thing about that dynamic is, so you're gonna see a guy, a small guy, is representing us. He's David. And he's fighting a monster, a gigantic monster that is Superman. He's Goliath. You know what I mean? So the dynamic is kind of like a cat and mouse kind of thing, where one have the obvious upper hand. They're gonna push that mouse into the corner, but then the mouse fights back, and then the mouse becomes the cat. You know what I mean? You compare that to Deadpool and Wolverine. They're both undeads, and they cannot die, so they're gonna have to inflict a lot of pain in each other to teach each other's lesson, and they need to, you know, release all that tension.
So you're watching a cat video, because both are cats. They fight viciously. They have to, and then they make up almost immediately.
And no, and the thing is about them making up.
Yeah.
It almost have nothing to do with like, okay, you win, therefore you're right. No, there's no winning or losing in a fight between Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Technically, there is winning and losing in the comics, because if I remember correctly, the glimpses that I've seen here and there, Wolverine usually get the upper hand. Wolverine is a much better fighter than Deadpool. But in this one, they decided to take a version of Wolverine that is, I think, new and exclusive to its own.
Yeah.
And this version is, technically speaking, at least in this movie, very much on the same level of Deadpool in terms of fighting prowess.
Yeah.
They're both just as good. So I like that. Interesting is that, you know, when you fight, you get distracted, and when you're distracted, you're gonna get whammy. And you know what I mean? Those things stop the fight.
Yeah.
And also, yeah, sometimes they go a little bit too hard, and the loss of blood, you know, make them dizzy and pass out. It
Yeah.
happens to everyone, even with undeads apparently, because you know what I mean. They're still human. They
Yeah.
just have
Degenerative healing powers.
yes. So,
Yeah, and I love how, yeah, like whatever you said just now, and then this is like one of those things where the fight scenes is really important in terms of building the character as well. It's part of the character development. So when each fight happens, it progresses the relationship.
yes,
Yeah, it's not just for show. It culminates to something that makes them reach a deeper understanding about each other.
especially when they have both a common enemy and a not really a common goal, more like one person have a noble goal and then the other person is like, I have nothing to live for, but I might as well make your goal come true. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes, yes, yes.
So the common enemy here is Cassandra Nova,
Yeah, played by Emma Corrin.
and
Yeah.
she is what do you say, like actually scary.
Yep.
Holds no bars.
Oh, yeah, holds no bar at all. Yeah, she's. Yeah, yeah. I mean, in the comics, even it was explained that she is the twin sister of Charles Xavier,
Yeah,
right?
and she is I would say totally ruthless. And you know when people have like these powers, and then they just talk and talk and talk,
Yeah.
and then they lost because they talk too much and they got distracted and everything like that. No such thing happened with Cassandra Nova. She's very vigilant, and I think it's the best kind of villain that you could ever want, because I love me the villains that straight up don't give a fuck, and they are not what do you call the thing? If you're a powerful villain, especially in this one where she kind of have like a colony under her,
Yeah.
there must be a reason why she is not only a part of the colony, becomes the leader of colony, and in a desolate land.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's not weak. She's not dumb. If she's weak and dumb, she won't be there.
Yep.
And I like with the way like how she conduct herself and the way she fights. It explains why she's in that position.
Yep.
I just hate villains that give too much openings to their enemy, and that's why they lose. I want them to lose when they are at their best.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, dude, give me another Avatar full powered versus Philo Ozai full powered. I want that. Not like a nerf version of Philo Ozai. Give me like the true. And in this one, unfortunately, because of the differences in the types of powers and how, frankly speaking, straight up, I'm going to tell you right now, these undeads, Deadpool and Wolverine, there's no way they can beat Cassandra Nova.
Yeah.
They couldn't even touch her.
Which is why she's the perfect villain for this movie.
Yeah. And also the perfect villain for every Deadpool saga.
Oh, okay.
Any arc whatsoever, you know. For example, he has team ups and kind of like, you know, Deadpool, teaming up with Deadpool always have to do with people who can't die. They are just so dangerous. Like for example, when Deadpool team up with Thanos, they both can't die. Or at least Thanos is just so powerful, he's so thick-skinned, Deadpool can't hurt him all that much. And even if Thanos wants to, he can't just kill Deadpool, right? And then
Did
there's...
they team up before?
Yes,
Okay.
in the comics.
Alright.
And then there are times where he team up with Punisher, dude. Punisher is just too good, man. His shots never missed, and like you can't touch him. And Deadpool, I'm sorry, he's just one person. If you have like maybe 50 Deadpool, maybe then he can take out Punisher. You know, but at the same time, Punisher also, if he wants to, he can shoot Deadpool however much he wants, he can. So Cassandra is yet another. Yeah, Cassandra is not immortal, But the way, she use her powers, everything, does not allow her to be killed. Therefore, technically, she is immortal. That's why she makes a perfect villain.
Yeah.
And the way they fight her, and of course it's called Deadpool and Wolverine. Of course, in this kind of movies, they win. It's very on brand. It's not gonna be something that is stupid and something that is like come out of left field. So don't worry about that. Okay, how about the action choreography with the other enemies? There's so many action. The choreography is awesome, and there are many fun battle scenes, and also dumb plot holes. That is very intentional. Things sometimes resolve themselves, but in a very tongue-in-cheek kind of way. And I think that is first and foremost the most important part, because you have to understand the goal of the movie. Like for example, I have friends who hate Thor Ragnarok because of how much jokes they do and they kill the tension. But the point of that is Taika Waititi is assigned to make a movie that is funny to like get people excited about Thor, because Thor is kind of meh, the 1 and 2. Nobody remembers the villain for the second one.
Yeah.
And tell me the name of the villain on the comments below if you dare, right? Yeah, of course you're gonna Google it and then type it, oh, it's the new villain. Of course you're gonna do that. I don't care anymore about that. But the thing is, he's forgetful, right? Nobody cares. So Taika did a great job by making Thor fun. Not fun again. Actually fun.
Yeah.
So people can get behind it. Oh, and Thor exists, and it's the third movie.
And
right?
because like I don't read the comics, but the origin of it is like very, it feel very much like the writers were on acid, right? When they made
And then
Thor.
also, if you pay attention to the directors, I think the directors change. Like the 1 and 2, is it the same director?
No.
See, that's when Marvel is trying to cook. Usually when they like the director, they keep the director. Like the Russo brothers, they do like, consequent movies, right?
Yeah.
And compare that to Iron Man and Thor, they keep changing directors because they keep.
Yeah, but Iron Man, yeah. The first two is the same director. The third one is the same director, yeah.
Yeah.
They
Again,
did- yeah.
people love the first one, and people kind of complain about the second one. So they changed the director because you gotta look at these patterns, right? But my problem is not with that movie. It's the movie after, Love and Thunder. Taika Waititi, I'm gonna make it funny. That's the point. Like the first movie that he did, Ragnarok, makes sense because they turned the genre from action comedy to comedy action, right? But then the fourth movie, it shouldn't be that anymore, because you already have done the job of like making people care about the Thor franchise.
Yeah.
Now, do an actual serious movie, especially when there's a cancer patient at the
Yeah.
center of it all. And then don't give me that, oh, Taika Waititi don't know how to write. No. Look at The Boy. Look at
Boy.
Boy.
It's just Boy, yeah.
Look at Hunt for the Wilder People. Look at What We Do in the Shadows. Taika Waititi is a great director with great comedic timing, but the problem with
He doesn't show restraint. That's his problem.
Yes, that's so you have to understand the goal. So the goal of Deadpool and Wolverine is about to entertain the fans. For the people who are disappointed at No Way Home to a certain extent, people are totally disappointed at what do you call it thing? The movie Age of Ultron, the movie Mother of Madness, Doctor Strange Mother of Madness.
In the multiverse of madness.
In the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
And then, what are the movie that people are disappointed in? That didn't like. What I'm talking about, like movie that there's an ensemble that's supposed to make a connection, to the bigger Marvel universe, right? To have more cameos, everything like that. Those movies, most of those movies did not deliver, whereas Deadpool and Wolverine delivers. I love that. You're gonna have all of that, but at the same time, you're gonna have a bunch of bullshit that they do intentionally to kind of excuse them to get to the next scene.
Oh.
Because some of the adversaries that they fight are just too humanly impossible for you to handle in a very timely manner, which is 2 hours. Which, They all even say in the movie that people are already accustomed to the really long runtime, right?
Yeah, and yeah, it just occurred to me. This movie is directed by Sean Levy, who was previously worked with Ryan Reynolds on 2 movies. The first one being Free Guy, and then the other one is Adam Project. And prior to that, he has experiences that in directing things with multiple things from other things, like at the museum.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I haven't seen it, but people like that movie, and yeah, I can see how he uses that expertise in Deadpool and Wolverine to juggle between all these references and different characters from other things and make it into one cohesive storyline that is for the fans.
Yeah, and also again, just like Casanova and this
Yeah.
version of it, right? They also have a character exclusive to the movie like Paradox. I think Paradox in this movie, I think, is a philosophical villain
Yeah.
because not all villains need to be combatants, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I mean, look at the first Doctor Strange. I mean, Dormammu is just a thing, and he was just,
Oh.
I came to bargain. That's the big act. It's
Yeah.
not even a typical big act where everything goes boom.
Yeah,
You
you
know?
remind me of another movie. This is a bad movie, which
Ah.
is to this day the worst Marvel movie ever, right?
Okay.
But that's part of it. Whereas Walton Goggins in Ant-Man and the Wasp is a
Ah.
philosophical villain.
Ah.
It doesn't feel like the main villain. And
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah, because
He's
there
just,
is an-
he just feels like they were writing the movie. Oh, we need an antagonist, so let's put Walton.
no. What I mean is there is another villain, Ghost,
Ah.
which I think what makes that movie kind of bad, because I think Walton Goggins should be the main villain. Ghost should be like the secondary, because Ghost, if you don't know, he's a mercenary.
Ah.
Right? And say he because that's why he is in the comics, and suddenly they decided to gender bend the character. And that's not my problem with the movie. My problem with the movie is called Ant-Man and the Wasp. And if you see the movie, right, who's barely doing anything, like he's a sidekick, Ant-Man. Who's the main character? The Wasp. And oh god, I have this conversation multiple times where people don't seem to understand this simple concept. Okay, when I do these reviews, right, I don't come in as a guy who talks about the marketing value of a movie. And again, we try to be timely with these reviews to keep it relevant, right? But we are not trying to be the reviewers that is here to say, oh, okay, we watch this movie early, go watch this thing, you know. That can be part of like how we want to be or operate a bit, but that's not the core of what we're doing here. When we talk, which is why our videos are long, we try to focus on our full thoughts on the movie, so it's like a discussion. And if people, and hopefully it becomes their evergreen content that people can in the future, right, they can come back to these reviews and see what they actually thought about that thing fully. So yes, this is not a spoiler-filled review. We're gonna do another one. We're gonna go all in, but in this one we're gonna say all of our thoughts, right? So when I talk to my friends about how it's called Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Ant-Man barely do anything, why is it called Ant-Man and the Wasp? And I say it should be called the Wasp. They keep saying, oh, if it's called the Wasp, nobody's gonna see the movie. Who cares? That's the marketing side of it. I don't care. I'm talking about the art form. I'm talking about how it should be titled. In my opinion, it should just be called The Wasp, because if you see the first Ant-Man movie, Ant-Man is the main character and his sidekick is the Wasp. So when you have the second movie, if Ant-Man is going to be the sidekick, the movie should be called The Wasp. So it makes sense when the Wasp has all the prominent roles, right? And Ant-Man is the sidekick. And if you really think about it, even in a marketing standpoint, it sounds better when the third movie is called Ant-Man and the Wasp. See, Ant-Man, the Wasp, Ant-Man and the Wasp. See how actually makes sense that is? There's like all the puzzle pieces fit together.
Yeah.
This movie is called Deadpool and Wolverine, and it's not a misnomer this time because it's very much a Deadpool movie and a Wolverine movie. Nobody is the sidekick. Both are main characters. That's why I love the title on this one. That's why it works. That's why I think Ant-Man and the Wasp is still should be called the Wasp. You know? Yeah, that's my. I just wanna get that out of the way because it's kind of annoying. And again, about titling too, it's fine naming the title just the main characters. What's most important is the characters. Okay, now with that said, it's also fine that if they wear goofy costumes.
Yeah.
Bryan Singer, what have you been doing? Fox, why didn't you just allow Hugh Jackman to wear the costumes?
Yeah.
You know, why can't you allow these characters to look just the way they are in the comics fully, not just Beast? You know, also there are other characters, right?
Actually go outside in these things. What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
Why does it make sense? It doesn't. Look at Peacemaker. Peacemaker, they take the goofy ass costume, like it's straight up. Oh, it's not realistic. No. It is realistic if you make the costume look exactly that way, and it is real in real life. Live action is actually wear that stupid latex around. He goes to talk shows. John Cena goes around wearing that thing. It looks dumb, right? Yes. But the Suicide Squad exists. Peacemaker, the TV series exists. People can see the character and his characteristic, fall in love with him, then they give meaning to the costume. So however goofy the costume may seem, it is not as goofy anymore because the character is so cool that they can rock any costume and make it look good.
Apparently, this is not really a spoiler of his appearance because he is briefly in the trailer. The guy who played Pyro, I haven't seen the Bryan Singer movies, but Pyro is apparently in those movies.
Yeah.
Played by the same actor, Aaron Stanford. I read somewhere, maybe in Wikipedia, I think. He says that, yeah, I mean, he really appreciates that the fact that this time he's wearing a comics accurate costume instead of the one that he worn in those movies before.
And
Yeah.
Pyro is as annoying as ever. Right? Yeah. There's also multiple villains, and don't worry, you're gonna get your multiple heroes, man. You're gonna like.
Yeah. I'm like,
You hear my voice right now?
yeah. This is because of those. Yeah.
There's a character that I'm like, you know, I'm gonna scream it. I'm gonna try to do it in a spoiler review, so keep a lookout for that. But dude, there's a lot of stuff in here. And okay, oh yeah, I forgot to talk about this one. Overhype.
Yeah.
Bullshit. This is not overhype.
I mean, okay. For this question, during like a segment for Buzzport that we shot, I'm not sure if we're gonna come out or not, but I did agree with the movie being overhyped and it's funny being overhyped, but yeah, I mean,
No, don't worry. Say what you feel. That's you. I'm me. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say.
yeah,
after
but
that. Just say what you wanna say.
But the point being, yeah, it's fine if it's hype because this movie is made for the fans. So what's wrong with just like us normal moviegoer who is not like, you know, sticking it to the man, not like part of the bigger corporations that is like assigned to review a movie, right? It's fine for us to like love it as a movie that we watch because it's our ticket. We, in this case, in this screening, we bought the tickets. So what if like we enjoy it, like we held it in high regard? Because these days, movies, we go to the cinemas to watch spectacles. If you want to watch like drama, maybe depending on who you are and depending on how well you do, you can go to the cinemas to watch all of it in the cinemas. But for us, it has to be the spectacles so that the money is worth spending on it, right? So yeah, what's with the disparity of like, you know, them calling this like, what's so special about this? Like, 4 out of 10 is suffice. Like, I don't know, man. Yeah, say your piece about this.
Okay. So when you talk about a good product, right? There's multiple skills, but like to keep it simple, right? If it's as you expected, it's in the satisfactory category, right? If it is less than you expected, it is in the unsatisfactory category. But if it's like more than you expected, in is like, in the category that people are like very, very extremely satisfied because they get more than they bargained for. Which is in the case of Deadpool and Wolverine. If you have hype, if you think that this is gonna be the movie that has all the connecting tissues coming together, you're gonna have all the characters that are, all the characters that you could ever want, like a buffet to have appearances and cameos, you're gonna have that. And I actually want to understand that you need to navigate yourself in this kind of thing, right? When you ask for all of this, right, it makes sense that you gonna want this and that, right? But you can't expect all the movies to have everything.
Yeah.
You can't expect one movie to have all of the references, all of the characters.
Yeah,
You know,
I put the meme somewhere. The expectation thing for cameos. I put it
Right.
there in the editing.
why? Because if you're gonna have that, and the movie is gonna be a bloated mess.
Yeah.
You don't want that. The references need to still make sense for the movie. The connective tissue, keyword here, connective, needs to be connected to the character and the given premise. You cannot have them, like time jump everywhere all over the cosmos to have all of these characters for a 1 second,
Yeah.
appearance. Or worse, you can have like 5 minutes of appearance for each character that like 80% of the populace who watch this movie might not even know, right? Then what you're gonna end up with is Om Shanti Om. That movie sucks. I go to sleep like, they all
God.
dance, they're all actors. Like, who cares?
The extended cameo scene. I'm like, oh, stop, please, stop.
Like, I
enjoyed the movie, but that part needs to stop.
I fell asleep. That scene feels longer than the Mary Poppins chimney.
Oh, it does. It
chimney
does.
song.
It does.
No, it doesn't feel longer. It is longer, right?
It is. It is.
It is stupidly long, and I don't
Yeah.
care, right? So you need to make it make sense.
Yeah.
So with that said, if you have a hype and you think you're gonna have all of these characters, the hype is mad. What I mean by that is, it is not over. It is and it is. In that sense, I gotta say, it's on the satisfactory level, And I'm not gonna say that if it has more, it's gonna be like on the overhype level. I'm just going to say that the movie delivers what it needs to deliver as people expected. It doesn't deliver something that is underwhelming, that is on the unsatisfactory level, whereas people expect this level at least. So navigate yourself,
Yeah.
And is this overhyped? Heck no, it's not. It is as expected. Because if you're gonna think that it's gonna have more superpowered beings, more so than Cassandra Nova, you are delusional. No movies are ever going to meet your expectations because you do not understand budgeting, you do not understand context, and you do not understand, the brain being at the center and not to the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. This is an interesting line of reviewing because when we are discussing about, the impact and the all that of that, because it's hard to review this movie without spoiling it. So we can't wait to go to the spoiler review.
Yeah. So I want to end this review with the score. I given my reasons. I love this movie. I love the characters. I love the cameos. I love the references. I love the heart and storyline where it takes its time to tell the character moments.
And also being fast pace. Also, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
The pacing
did
is
I
very.
mention this? I love the choreography.
Yeah.
I love everything about it. Yet it is not a flawless movie. And there's some plot holes that I say is kind of cheating. You know, I'm gonna give this movie 8.7 out of 10, and I would even bother to give it like, oh, this movie stand on its own kind of like score as a film, because to me that is pointless, because this is not meant to be made as a typical one-off movie like No Country for Old Men or like Might or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. 8.7 out of 10.
For me, yeah, I mean, it's not like you said, it's not perfect, but for what is engineered to be, it blows my expectation. Like, I didn't expect much, which is good. I only saw like the first trailer that was with Buzz Pop. When we did the bedah trailer. Yeah, you can watch that. I'll put the link somewhere. And yeah, and then when I watch it, this is my voice now. I can't stop screaming.
Yes, it's my
And
voice
how
now.
everything is just like for the fans, for the fans, for the fans. I mean, that's what this movie is. And it fulfills that quota wonderfully. So yeah, for me, it's flawful, but still a damn fun time. 8 out of 10 for me.
With that said, also, you're gonna see a bunch of ratings floating around, like 7 or a 6, and they are actually very justified, because how fun and how much you enjoy that movie and how much you wanna rate that movie based on its merits is, again,
Depends on the personal
personal
mileage.
everyone, right?
Yeah.
But just because it's a 6 or a 7 doesn't make it a terrible movie.
Yeah.
It is not. It is simply not true. And 6 and 7s can still be good.
Yeah.
It's still worth a watch.
Yep.
Like, I don't know why people are like, oh, 80% and above, 80% to 100%, then we watch it. If it's anything below that, if it's a 7 or a 5, it's not worth watching. Like, dude, that's not how things works. Like, these movies are rated based on what they are worth. We can't always go on like the extremes.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
if we go by on the extremes, then we're not supposed to have like these ratings. Instead, every video and every review you see just have to just be, oh, watch it, don't watch it. Is that what you want? That's stupid, man. And that is why Deadpool and Wolverine gets an 8.7 out of 10.
and gets an 8 out of 10 from me. So yeah, wait for our spoiler review and see you soon. LFG.
LFG.
Bye bye.
Latom.